In this tutorial, I will show you the idea of messaging. There will be some other things in the video that I talk about, but the main thing is messaging. So if you don't understand what an ADT is or a stack, don't worry, that's not the lesson. Just get the idea of messaging. This is the thing that you are sending the message to. So what you see on the screen now is going to be a representation of a message. You're going to send it to something. This is the name of the message. So this forms the header of the function that you define, or the method that you define. The parameters may have arguments. They may not have arguments, but if they have more than one argument, they're going to be separated by commas. I'll go over this again at the end of the video after I've shown you the code in action, and then you will have a better idea of what this actually means. Hello, in this tutorial we're going to look at the idea of messaging. First of all, let's have a look at the code that we have here. I've created a class called stack. This is how you create a class. And then I've defined in it a constructor which is going to create a variable called myList, which is basically just a list, an empty list. The second piece of code here is defining a push command. What this is going to do is this is going to take one argument. This is going to be the argument that you enter, and it is going to append it to my list. This append you can think of as a message. It's sending my list a message saying, hey, add this item. Pop is going to return the last thing entered into this stack. Now, it doesn't really matter too much about stacks right now. I'm not going to go into stacks. But the idea of it is it's like a stack of plates or a stack of books. You know, you put a stack of books on a table, so the last book that you put on is going to be the first one off, and the first book you put on the table is going to be the last one. Okay, so let's have a look at this. First of all, I have to create a new stack. So I'm going to do that by doing so we add the parentheses at the end because it's saying that X is basically equal to the class stack. So if I hit return now, that's actually now created an empty list. Now, if I want to add something to this list, I would use push. So use push. Actually, I would do x.push. And I have to add an item, so I'm going to add my name. Now, if we look at this statement here, what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, create a new stack called X. And then I'm saying, hey, that new stack X that I just created, I want you to send it this message, push. Push is defined over here. So this item goes into this variable here, and it's called an argument. And this argument here is referring to this statement here. and it's going to append this item to this list. Right, we can't see what it's done. But if I do pop, it will pop this list off now. So perhaps if I add a few things to it, let's do push 34. Stop. Push. Mac and X dot push. Right. Okay, so now these items have been added to this list here. So if I do X pop, now I don't have to put anything into the parameters because it doesn't take any. What it's going to do is this here, this pop, is telling it to pop the first thing that's out of the list. So the last thing that was in was candy. So the first thing that is out should be candy, right? And there it is. So if I do that again, the next thing that'll be out should be MC, Mac. And it is. And then if I do it again, I'm going to get 34. And again, I will get Tony. Okay, so what I want you to take away from this is this idea of messaging. We've created these messages here, push and pop, so that we can add things and take things out of a list in specific orders. We can do another message, so we can check to see if it is empty. Okay, so now if I go back over to here to the interpreter, if I let's run that first. Now if I check to see if the list is empty, so I have to create a new stack first. And send it a message. So we've created a stack. Now we're going to send it a message by using dot notation like we've done before, and it's popped up here for us. Is empty. It returns true. Now if I add something to it by sending it the message push, and now ask it if it's empty, it says false. So you can see you can build structures. A stack is actually an ADT, which is an abstract data type. I'm not going to go into that right now, but it's good that you understand that it's an ADT. And what we've done is we've created some messages for the class stack. Class stack understands these sets of messages at current push, pop, and is empty. We use the messages by creating a new stack, and then we send it messages by using dot notation and the list of messages, any one of these messages here that it understands because we've defined them. We can add a print definition, define print. Okay, so if we run that, create a new stack called X. I'm going to add something to it. Fred, and let's add something else. 34. Okay, so now if we send it the message print, it prints what is in the stack. So Tony is at the top, 30, actually I'm sorry, Fred is the one that would be at the top. Because, no, that is right, Tony is the one that would be at the top. And Fred would be at the bottom because Fred was in first, and then 34, and then Tony. So that's the idea of messaging. It's really quite powerful because you can create structures that you can then send a message to, which means you don't have to create or keep writing the same code to perform the same function. You just define it, and then you can send it a message. First, we created an object and we called it X. So this was the thing that we're going to send the message to. Next, we sent different messages to the object X, and those messages included pop, push, is empty, and print. In the parameters, it was only push that needed an argument, and we just put one argument in at a time. In the two examples on the screen, the name of the object is X, the name of the message is push, and push passes the argument Fred. In the next example, again, X is the name of the object, is empty is the name of the message, and it passed no arguments. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and check out one of my other videos. Bye for now.